Yesterday, January 13th, a portal opened in the heavens, a portal that most Catholics didn't even notice. For 24 hours, extraordinary graces flowed upon the earth, specific graces for the souls in purgatory, graces that Our Lady of Fatima promised to those who pray on the 13th of each month. But here's the problem. These graces don't automatically stay with you. If you don't do something specific within those 24 hours, they return to heaven. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to solidify these graces, how to permanently seal them for the souls of your family, and how to transform what you received yesterday into a lasting protection for your departed loved ones. What I'm about to reveal to you comes directly from the secret teachings of Padre Pio, teachings he shared only with his closest spiritual children, teachings that the Vatican has kept in its archives for decades because they are considered too powerful to be disseminated without caution. Have you ever wondered why your prayers for the deceased sometimes seem to have no effect? Why some days you sense their presence and other days nothing at all? Why, despite years of praying rosaries and attending masses, the soul of your loved one still seems to be stuck in purgatory? The answer is simple. You receive graces, but you don't solidify them. It's like filling a leaky bucket. Water goes in, water goes out, and in the end, there's nothing left. Padre Pio discovered this secret in 1947, 30 years after the apparitions at Fatima. He realized that the Virgin Mary had established a specific system, a system based on the number 13. And this system only works if you understand its two phases, the reception phase and the consolidation phase. The reception phase is the 13th of each month. On this day, graces descend. They are available to all who pray, but they remain in suspension. They float around you. They wait. The consolidation phase is the next day, the 14th. This is the day you must seal what you've received. Without this second phase, the graces evaporate. They return to where they came from, and you find yourself back at square one. Nobody teaches this. Priests don't talk about it. Devotional books ignore it. Why? Because this knowledge has been passed down confidentially. From Lucy to Padre Pio, from Padre Pio to a select few souls, and from those chosen souls to you today. Let me explain why the 13th is so special. It's no coincidence that the Virgin Mary chose to appear on the 13th of each month in Fatima. 13 is a number of transition. In Catholic tradition, 12 represents completion. The 12 apostles, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 hours of the day. 13 is what comes after completion. It's the passage to something new. It's the opening to a higher dimension. When the Virgin Mary appears on the 13th, she opens a door between heaven and earth. This door remains open throughout the day, and through this door, specific graces can descend, graces that are not available on other days of the month. Padre Pio could see these graces. He described them as threads of golden light descending from heaven. These threads landed on the people who were praying. They enveloped them. They penetrated their souls. But the next morning, if nothing was done, these threads began to dissolve, like morning dew evaporating in the sun. One day, a father, let's call him Michael, came to see Padre Pio. His son, let's call him Joshua, had just died in a car accident. Michael had prayed for him every day for 6 months. He had had masses said. He had recited hundreds of rosaries. But every time he asked Padre Pio if his son was released from purgatory, the answer was the same. Not yet. Michael was desperate. He didn't understand. He was doing everything he had been told to do. Why wasn't it working? Padre Pio asked him a strange question. What do you do on the 14th of each month, Michael? Michael didn't understand. The 14th? Nothing special. Why? Padre Pio explained. Every 13th of the month, You pray, you receive graces for your son, but on the 14th, you go back to your normal life. You do nothing to seal those graces. They fly away. It's as if you never prayed at all. Michael was stunned. No one had ever told him this. How was he supposed to solidify the graces? Padre Pio taught him a specific ritual, a ritual that I'm going to reveal to you in a few moments. But first, I must explain why this ritual works. The graces we receive on the 13th are not like money we put in our pocket. They are like seeds we sow in a field. If we don't water them the next day, they will never grow. The consolidation ritual is the watering. It's what allows the graces to take root, to anchor themselves in the soul of your deceased loved one, to produce spiritual fruits. Padre Pio used another image. The graces of the 13th are like hot wax. They are malleable. They can be molded. But if we wait too long, they harden. And once hardened, they can no longer be attached to anything. They become useless. The consolidation ritual is the seal we press into the wax before it hardens. Now here's something that very few people know. The graces of the 13th are not generic. They are specific. Every 13th of the month, the Virgin Mary sends different graces. The graces of January are not the same as those of February. The graces of March are not the same as those of April. The graces of January 13th are particularly powerful for the souls of family. Why? Because January is the month of new beginnings, the month when we lay the foundations for the entire year. The graces received on January 13th can protect the souls of your family for the 12 months that follow, but only if you consolidate them correctly. Padre Pio called the graces of January 13th the foundation graces. He said that if you sealed them correctly, they created a kind of spiritual shield around the souls of your deceased loved ones. A shield that would last until January 13th of the following year. Imagine what that means. A whole year of protection. A year during which your daily prayers would be amplified. A year where each rosary, each mass, each candle lit has a tenfold impact on the souls of your family. But all of this depends on what you do today. January 14th, in the next few hours, before the sun sets. I'm now going to reveal the secure ritual that Padre Pio taught. This ritual has 7 steps, 7 like the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit, 7 like the 7 sacraments, 7 like the 7 days of creation. First step, identify the souls of your family for whom you want to seal the graces, not souls in general, specific souls. Your mom, your dad, your grandma, your uncle. Write their names on a piece of paper, 1 name per line. This list is sacred. Don't show it to anyone. Second step, for each name on the list, write a specific intention next to it, not release from souls in purgatory in general. Something precise. May my mum be freed from the suffering related to her divorce. May my dad find peace regarding the mistakes he made with his children. The more specific the intention, the more effective the sealing will be. Third step, light a white candle, not a colored candle, white, the color of purity, the color of Mary. Place this candle in front of you. It must burn for the entire duration of the ritual. Fourth step, hold the list in your hands. Close your eyes. Visualize the graces you received yesterday as threads of golden light. Imagine these threads wrapped around your hands, around the list, around the names of your deceased loved ones. Fifth step, say these words 3 times. Our Lady of Fatima, I seal on this day the graces that you granted yesterday. May these graces protect the souls of my family. May they shorten their purification. May they draw them closer to eternal light. Through the intercession of Padre Pio, I ask that this sealing be permanent. Amen. Sixth step, fold the list in 4, not in 2, in 4. Each fold represents a direction: north, south, east, west. The 4 corners of the earth. When you fold it, you are locking the graces inside. Seventh step. Place the folded list under the candle. Not in the flame, under the candle holder. Leave it there until the candle burns out on its own. Never blow out this candle. If you have to leave, let it burn. If you're afraid of fire, place it in a safe place, but do not extinguish it. When the candle is completely consumed, the graces will be sealed, definitively, irreversibly. They will belong to the souls of your family for the entire year. But beware, this ritual can only be done once a year. January 14th. If you miss it, you'll have to wait until next year. That's why I'm giving you this information today. Now, while there's still time. Padre Pio told a story that perfectly illustrates the importance of this ritual. A woman from Boston used to visit him every month. She faithfully prayed on the 13th. She never missed it. But she didn't know the secure ritual. For 10 years, she prayed for the soul of her deceased husband. 10 years of rosaries, 10 years of masses, 10 years of tears. One day, Padre Pio told her the truth. Your husband is still in purgatory. All your prayers on the 13th have evaporated because you never sealed the graces. The woman was devastated. 10 years lost. 10 years of useless prayers. How was that possible? Padre Pio consoled her. He told her that it wasn't entirely lost, that the next January 13th, if she did the secure ritual correctly, she could recover some of what she had lost. Not everything, but some. Because the graces of January are the most powerful. They can partially repair the previous years. This woman did the ritual the following January 14th, exactly as Padre Pio had taught her. And something extraordinary happened. 3 weeks later, she had a dream. Her husband appeared to her, not as a ghost, as a luminous presence. He said thank you. He said that he had finally felt her prayers, that for 10 years he had heard them as a distant whisper, but that since the ritual he was receiving them fully, as if a barrier had been lifted. The woman returned to Padre Pio to tell him about her dream. Padre Pio smiled. He said a phrase that I will never forget. Sealed graces are like a letter with a stamp. Without the seal, the letter never reaches its destination, but once sealed, it crosses all obstacles. This image is perfect to understand what is happening. Your prayers are love letters that you send to your deceased loved ones. The graces of the 13th are the ink with which you write, but the secure ritual is the stamp. Without the stamp, the letter stays in your mailbox. It never reaches the one for whom it is intended. Now I must tell you about an aspect of the ritual that Padre Pio only revealed to those who were really ready to hear it. An aspect that may seem difficult to accept, but which is absolutely essential for the sealing to work. The secure ritual cannot be done in a state of mortal sin. If you have committed a serious sin since January 13th and have not confessed, the ritual will not work. The graces you are trying to seal will slip through your fingers like water. Padre Pio was inflexible on this point. He said that mortal sin creates holes in the soul, and these holes let the graces escape. It's like trying to seal a bag that is torn. No matter how much you tighten it, the contents escape. If you are in this situation, don't despair. There is a solution. Go to confession before doing the ritual. If you can't find a priest today, make an act of perfect contrition, with the firm intention of confessing as soon as possible. This will be enough for the ritual to work. Another important point. The ritual must be done in silence. No music, no television in the background, no ringing phone. Silence is the container in which the graces settle. If there is noise, the container is shaken, the graces spread. They cannot solidify. Padre Pio always did this ritual in his cell, alone. The door closed. Even the other Capuchin friars didn't know exactly what he was doing on January 14th. They just knew not to disturb him that day, that he was in communication with heaven. A friar, Father Carmelo, once dared to ask Padre Pio what exactly he did on January 14th. Padre Pio responded with another question. What does a gardener do the day after planting seeds? Father Carmelo considered this. He waters, he protects, he makes sure the birds don't eat the seeds. Exactly, said Padre Pio. That's what I do. I protect what was planted yesterday. I make sure nothing steals the graces. This answer holds a deep truth. January 14th is not a passive day. It's a day of spiritual action, a day where you must actively protect what you've received. If you spend this day like any other day, you let the birds eat your seeds, you let the sun evaporate your dew, you let the wind carry away your threads of light. Now I'm going to reveal something even more powerful, something that Padre Pio only shared with the most spiritually advanced souls. If you perform the sealing ritual correctly, you can not only seal the graces for the souls of your family, you can also ask these souls to help you in return. It's a sacred exchange. You give them graces. They give you their intercession. Once a soul receives sealed graces, it becomes capable of interceding for you from purgatory, not with as much power as a saint in heaven, but with a special connection, a familial connection, a connection of spiritual blood. Padre Pio used to say that the souls in purgatory who receive sealed graces become guardians. They watch over their earthly family. They warn of dangers. They inspire decisions. They accompany you in difficult moments. A woman from Boston experienced something extraordinary after performing the ritual for the soul of her deceased mother. A few weeks later, she narrowly avoided a car accident. At the last moment, something pushed her to brake, for no apparent reason. She braked, and a second later, a truck ran through the intersection, blowing a red light. If she hadn't braked, she would have died instantly. This woman knew immediately it was her mother. She felt her presence in the car, a warm presence, protective, maternal. Her mother had received the sealed graces, and in return, she had protected her from danger. This kind of protection is only possible if the graces are properly sealed. A soul that receives unsealed prayers cannot intercede effectively. The prayers bring temporary relief, but not the power to act. Let me tell you another story that Padre Pio often shared. It's the story of a family from upstate New York who had lost 3 members in a single year. The grandfather in January, the grandmother in April, and an uncle in November. 3 deaths. 3 souls in purgatory, 3 burdens on the hearts of those who remained. The eldest daughter in this family was particularly devout. She prayed relentlessly for her deceased loved ones. She lit candles. She had masses said, but she felt that something was wrong. She felt that her prayers weren't reaching their destination. One day, she had the opportunity to meet Padre Pio. She explained her situation. The 3 deaths, the incessant prayers, the feeling of failure. Padre Pio listened in silence. Then he told her something that changed her life. You have 3 souls to help, but you treat them as 3 separate problems. You pray for your grandfather one day, for your grandmother another day, for your uncle yet another day. But on January 13th, you must bring them together. You must treat them as one united family, because that's what they are. They are together in purgatory. They help each other. They are waiting for you together. And the graces that you seal on January 14th must cover them all together. This revelation transformed this woman's approach. Instead of praying for each soul separately, she began to pray for the entire family. Instead of asking for individual graces, she asked for collective graces. And above all, the following January 14th, she performed the sealing ritual for all 3 souls at the same time. A single list, 3 names, 3 intentions, but a single ceiling. 6 months later, she had an extraordinary dream. She saw her 3 deceased relatives together, her grandfather, her grandmother, and her uncle. They were in a luminous garden. They were smiling. They waved to her, and they spoke a single phrase, all 3 at the same time. "Thank you for reuniting us." When she told this dream to Padre Pio, he nodded. He said that the souls of the same family are connected by invisible threads. When one soul receives sealed graces, it can share them with the other souls of its family. That's why the January ritual is so powerful. It doesn't only benefit the souls you name, it benefits the entire lineage. This notion of lineage is fundamental to understanding the sealing ritual. The January graces don't stop with the people you know. They go back in time. They reach ancestors you've never met. They descend toward future generations. They create a chain of grace that crosses the centuries. Padre Pio explained this with a simple image. Imagine that each family is like a tree. The roots are the ancestors. The trunk is the present generation. The branches are the descendants. When you seal graces for your family, you pour water on that tree. The water flows to the roots. It rises into the trunk. It nourishes the branches. The entire tree benefits from a single watering. That's why even if you don't know the names of your great-great-grandparents, they can receive the graces you seal. You don't need to name them individually. Simply include in your intention all the souls of my lineage, and the graces will find their way. Now, I must address a delicate subject, a subject that many people avoid, but which is essential for the sealing ritual to be complete. In every family, there are difficult souls, people who lived in sin, people who harmed others, people who died without reconciling with God or with their family. These souls are often excluded from family prayers. It's believed that they don't deserve our intercession or that it's useless to pray for them. Padre Pio had a completely different view. He used to say that those difficult souls are precisely the ones who most need the sealed graces, because they often have no one else praying for them, because their purification is longer and more painful, because without the help of their family, they can remain in souls in purgatory for centuries. A man once came to Padre Pio with a painful question. His father had been a violent man. He had mistreated his wife and children for years. He died without ever asking for forgiveness. Should he pray for him? Should he include his name in the ritual of consolidation? Padre Pio looked at this man with infinite compassion. He told him something that made him weep. Your father did a lot of harm, but at the moment of his death, in the last seconds of his life, he had a thought of regret. Just one thought. This thought was insufficient to save him from hell, but it was sufficient to send him to souls in purgatory. And now, he suffers. He suffers more than you can imagine, not only because of his sins, but also because of the shame. He sees you, he sees what he did to you, and he cannot ask you for forgiveness. The man was overwhelmed. How do you know all this? Padre Pio responded simply, I see him. He is behind you at this moment. He is waiting. He hopes, he prays that you will find the strength to forgive him. And if you do, if you include his name in the ritual of consolidation, you will free him from the greatest part of his suffering, not all of it, but the greatest part. This man made a courageous choice. He included his father's name on his list. He added a specific intention. May my father find peace regarding the harm he did to our family. May we one day be reconciled in heaven. A few months later, this man had a dream. His father appeared to him, not as the tyrant he had been in life, but as a broken man, a man who wept, a man who said, Forgive me, my son, forgive me. The man woke up in tears, but for the first time in his life, he was not crying from sadness, he was crying from liberation. Something had broken within him. a knot he had carried since childhood. This story shows that the ritual of consolidation does not only benefit the dead, it benefits the living too. When you seal graces for a difficult soul, you initiate a healing process that touches the entire family. The wounds of the past begin to heal. Resentments begin to dissolve. Broken bonds begin to mend. I'm now going to give you some further details about the ritual. Details that Padre Pio added for those who wanted to maximize the effectiveness of the sealing. Firstly, the ideal time to do the ritual is between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. This is the period when the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest on January 14th. If you cannot do the ritual at this time, do it anyway. But if you have the choice, prioritize this period. Secondly, the white candle must be new. Not a candle that you have already used for something else. A virgin candle that has never burned before, that has never illuminated another intention. This candle is consecrated exclusively to the sealing of graces. Thirdly, the paper on which you write the names must be white. No colored paper, no lined paper. A white, simple, pure paper. The ink must be black or blue, no red. Red is reserved for spiritual emergencies. The sealing of graces is not an emergency, it is a consecration. Fourthly, during the 3 repetitions of the prayer, keep your eyes closed. Do not open them between repetitions. Maintain your concentration. Maintain your visualization of the threads of golden light. Every time you open your eyes, you partially break the connection, and the graces escape a little. Fifthly, after the ritual, do not speak for at least 10 minutes. Silence prolongs the sealing. It allows the graces to solidify completely. If you speak too quickly, you disturb the process. It's like opening the oven too early when you're baking a cake. The cake collapses, the graces dissipate. Sixthly, keep the folded paper after the candle has gone out. Do not throw it away. Place it in a sacred place. A drawer where you keep your religious items, a special box, a prayer book. This paper is now consecrated. It bears the seal of the graces. To destroy it would be like destroying those graces. Seventhly, and this is perhaps the most important, have faith. Doubt is the enemy of sealing. If you do the ritual while wondering if it will work, you create cracks in the seal. The graces leak through these cracks. Padre Pio used to say that faith is the cement that makes the seal watertight. Without faith, the seal is porous. With faith, it is indestructible. You now have all the information you need to do the ritual of consolidation. You know why it is important. You know how to do it. You know when to do it. There is only one thing left: to actually do it. Because knowledge without action is sterile. You can watch this video 10 times, you can take notes, you can understand everything intellectually, but if you do not do the ritual today, all of this will be useless. The graces you received yesterday will fly away, and you will have to wait a whole year before you have another chance. I'm sharing these teachings with you because I believe they must be known. Because too many souls suffer in souls in purgatory when their families could help them. Because too many prayers are lost for lack of sealing. Because the secret that Padre Pio kept for decades deserves to be revealed to those who are ready to use it. If this video has helped you, if you feel that this information can change your spiritual life and that of your departed loved ones, if you believe that these truths deserve to be spread, then I invite you to support this work. The Super Thanks button is just below. Every support allows me to continue to discover these hidden teachings, to translate them, to make them accessible. Together, we can help thousands of souls. Together, we can do what Padre Pio did alone in his cell. I will finish with one last reflection, something that Padre Pio used to say to those who had done the ritual of consolidation. Sealed graces are like messages sent to heaven with your signature. Each year, on January 14th, you renew your commitment to the souls of your family. You tell them, "I do not forget you." You tell them, "I am working for your liberation." You tell them, "Wait for me. I am coming to get you." And these souls, they answer you, not with words, but with signs, with dreams, with intuitions, with invisible protections. They accompany you. They guide you. They're preparing a place for you near them. The ritual of sealing the graces is not an obligation. It's a grace that Our Lady of Fatima offers to those who really want to help their departed loved ones, a grace that Padre Pio passed on to those who were ready to receive it, a grace that is now in your hands. Now, I have a question for you. A question I ask you to answer honestly in the comments. Did you pray yesterday, January 13th, for the souls of your family? And if so, what did you feel? Did you feel the graces descending? Did you perceive the presence of your departed loved ones? Share your experience, because every testimony encourages others. Every story inspires those who doubt. Every shared experience strengthens the community of prayer. May Our Lady of Fatima bless you. May Padre Pio intercede for you. And may the graces of January 13th be sealed definitively for the souls of your family forever.